Only Florida suffered during 9/11 is the squeeziest squeeze. Write that down for the book.
Damn
That's
it.
my nomination.
Legendary in Syracuse had the wrong color in 1956, so we gave it to the white guy who threw 13 interceptions, because that makes sense.
He doesn't have much hair on his knuckles, so he must not be really drinking the whiskey.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
Gentlemen.
What's up,
good.
brothers?
Good. Is that why you're always riding so high?
Yeah, you really got there in
Really
the
good. Yeah. That came all the way up from the gooch.
That's where you. That's quite the travel. Welcome to the Juice Boys Show, my friends, three brothers-in-law. So stupid. About a year ago, we started a weekly sports podcast. We are blowing up, and by blowing up, I mean embers. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, don't. I think the embers were going this last week or two. It's a flame. We're getting some smoke. We're getting, it's flaming. Like I'm watching a lot of Alone. Like when they finally get that little ember going, and then it starts to go. And like right now, we're at that point where we have caught fire.
Yeah.
But can we sustain it?
No,
and that's up to you, juice junkies. Keep listening. We love you. We love you.
You are our fire.
Yeah, you are our fire.
We're blowing a lot of things right now. Anyway, welcome to episode 71. Whenever you're listening, however you're listening, whenever you listen, we thank you so much. Shows drop every single Friday. Be sure to follow on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We drop a lot of fun reels, sports memories, sports highlights, funny sports things, whatever you could think of. We're trying to get on there. A sports page you guys want to follow, community you want to be a part of. So this show makes less sense than Juan Soto's fucking contract. Holy cow, guys! Oh my gosh,
oh my god, the MLB.
A lot to say about that.
Just insanity.
We're gonna talk about it, guys. I'm the third turd. I got my two brothers-in-law here. That's our shtick. If you guys haven't picked up after 70 episodes, Mr. Paul Pelletier, the professor. Mwah. He's smart. And right. The Sultan of Sith.
Smart.
About
Juice
one
Boy
thing.
Joe. Guys, what are we drinking? Episode 71. Kick us off with something good.
So it wasn't good and I made it good. All right. I had Jack Daniels and I was like, I like Jack.
Okay. That's gross. Ooh.
Okay.
I like Jack.
It's fine.
Okay. It's fine.
It's
Crown and Jack can't do.
No. Crown is different. Crown is Canadian
Gross.
whiskey, and I
they're gross.
Do not like Canadian whiskey. I like Tennessee whiskey. I like bourbon.
Do you like Canadian?
I like sour. No, I do not like Canadian. I hate Canadian whiskey.
Oh, I know.
Do you like
Canadians?
Canada.
Like the
Canadians.
people.
Oh, I love Canadians. I love the country of Canada. I love Canada.
We are international now, Joe.
We are.
So mind your P's and Q's.
Canada's a great time, man. I love it up there. I want to go back. All right, get some salted beef in Montreal. It's the best.
Okay.
All right, but no, I hate their whiskey. And I don't like their beer either. But anyway, so I'm drinking Jack Daniels. And I wanted to spruce it up, and I did a really good old fashioned with this thing. I added some agave. I did it right, and I shook it up and made it all frothy and delightful. And it's got that good.
We love
darkness.
frothy.
Look at that color. Yeah, and it's really good, and you can see by the size of this. I don't need a beer chaser.
Is that the first time in 7
Kind of feel like you do, yeah. You owe us.
I have.
Oh, he's got a bet.
You don't need one. You get to have.
Oh no, I've got one. I've got a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. I've talked about it several times.
You didn't need one, but you wanted one.
I have one.
Yeah, of course.
You had one.
Keep it going, Chris. Can you beat an old fashioned? Did you,
fellas? I'm keeping with the last couple of weeks of fancy glasses. I'm busting out my 50-year-old Canadian Club tuxedo glass, but I filled it with better whiskey than
good.
Okay,
Canadian stuff.
Okay, good.
This is a tin cup Manhattan, because nothing says to me Christmas season like drinking a Manhattan.
That is so true.
Chris, you're the dark liquor expert here. Give us a breakdown of Canadian whiskey and educate me.
Canadian whiskey is just way too much wheat, and so there's really like wheat. Wheat is kind of a part of pretty much any style of whiskey in some sort of percentage. But yeah, high wheat whiskey winds up being like really bland, kind of extra sweet.
I don't like it.
It tastes kind of ethanol-y.
Exactly.
Those Canadians are ethanol.
Yeah, it's
which
like
is weird because
cheap to
sour mash
produce.
is corn.
Like it's cheap to produce. It's affordable. It's easy to produce, and you can grow a shitload of wheat in Canada. So they make
had
their
to get rid of it
whiskey
somehow,
and it's just not that good.
So
Thanks for the lesson, Professor of Pulp.
You ever actually had actual potato vodka? It's really not that good. No, they don't make it out of potatoes.
We got a big sports talk.
What
a
are
lot
you
of big
drinking?
news.
What are you drinking, fool?
Don't try and sidestep this.
Okay. Our water's out. Therefore, that doesn't matter for this show because we don't drink water.
Yeah, what are you talking You're not supposed to be drinking
but
water.
There's no ice tonight. So we got Makers straight to preserve the water for the child.
Attaboy.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I would think so.
Is that the desperation bottle of Maker's, Mark?
Yes, I
we're
finished
getting
it off.
down to
Yes.
Wait, you're finishing off that bottle of Maker's, but you haven't brought yourself around to that apple brandy.
That's seasonal.
9 years old.
Seasonal.
God, that's so gross.
Okay.
Took a shot of it last week or 2 weeks ago. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, not that bad. All right, guys. Sports doc. We got a lot going on this week. A lot of big things. We got a squeeze of the week. Moron Mountain.
That's right.
We got picks. We got a big topic of the day. Action-packed show. Let's start with Juan freaking Soto. He signed for $14 bajillion for over 47 years of employment to play right field for the New York Mets, the New York Yankees, the Red Sox, the Mets, the Yankees. Obviously, they were all in the running. It was like a bidding war. The Yankees offered 4 or 5 less than the Mets. And I guess that just wasn't enough money. So then the Mets came.
Seriously, at what point in time do you just go, where do I want to be? Like,
I don't
think that's what this was. I think that's what this was because you hit money.
But it also just happened to also be the highest bidder.
Yeah,
I don't believe that.
It also did. But he looks at, I think this is a testament of what he thinks the futures are going to be. So he looks at the Yankees versus looks at the Mets. The Mets have a much brighter future than the Yankees do right now. The Yankees are just riding all these old players that aren't that good, and then Aaron Judge. And what are the Yankees going to do to try to? I know, what the hell, But then what? So what are the Yankees going to do now? They're going to go out and get Nolan Arenado, another old past his prime. He's only 32 years old.
That's weird to think about.
He's just been like so injury prone since he left the Rockies.
You look into this now. I might have a lot more to talk about this later. Wink, wink. I said, but Juan Soto, $765 million over 15 years.
God damn.
He's 26.
We're in the wrong job.
He's 26 years old, okay? And he just signed a 15-year contract. So now finally, the Mets are going to be paying Juan Soto after they're finally done paying Bobby Bonilla. All right, so that is how long.
I love it.
That is how long they're signing Juan Soto for. Now, yes, this guy is a freak athlete. He is a freak, and he might be one of the best hitters we've seen in a long time. But still, let me read: 166 hits, 41 home runs, 288 batting average, 109 RBIs, 7 stolen bases. Now an on-base percentage of 42%, which is where he gets his money. Like he's an outstanding walker. He's outstanding at getting on base. But is that
the rest of those stats?
$1 million,
$750 million payout for those stats.
$750 million for that. I know he's 26 years old. And I know that he is literally not in his prime yet. Which is shocking to think about. He's led the league in walks 3 different times. That's like, and his on base percentage for his career, for his career is a .421. I mean, that's outstanding. But he's not putting up Manny Ramirez batting numbers.
Or Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei's a different breed. We're talking about Shohei.
He's making more than Shohei, though.
He's making more than Shohei, and Shohei pitches.
Not per year, but the overall contract size is.
I just don't get it. I don't think he's worth that much. No. I don't think
Scott Boras, dude. He got a buzz going. He got a bidding war going.
Fellas, if you remember all the way back when Shohei signed that contract, my take at the time was I think that the Dodgers are reading the tea leaves and saying this is going to be the way that superstar contracts are going to be structured in the future of the MLB. And so we feel like we're actually getting out in front of what is going to be the new wave at a time to where it looks ridiculous and not too far down the line is actually going to be looking relatively affordable. Like, here's the first iteration of that.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I just don't know why Juan Soto would want to leave batting ahead or behind Aaron Judge and having a peewee field on the right side. You're going to hit dingers for 15 years.
Oh,
in Yankee Stadium.
True. Yeah, that is true.
Dingers. A pop fly. You're going to hit 41. Yeah.
That was
just let the trade winds do the work for you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And you have Judge to protect you, but now he has Lindor. He's staying in New York, so And he's going to go back to the National League too.
See Pete Alonso now. Pete Alonso. I mean, I know the Rockies ownership is listening to this. I know they are. Please sign Pete Alonso. Can you imagine? He would be the best Rocky ever. He would hit 70 like if he was at Coors. I mean, this dude is just a masher. We need a first baseman. We needed Chris Bryant. Horrible. Just let's get the polar bear. He'll crush home runs over the tundra at 585. I mean, like he'll do it. God, this is just
the Rockies will make a GoFundMe to pay for it.
I'm saying this all out of nothing, but I mean it's not going to happen. But Juan Soto,
congratulations, you got your bag. He makes a little bit more.
Kids play baseball.
Actually, hold on. Pause for 2 seconds. And Juan Soto's made more than all three of us in our lifetime.
Okay, I didn't need to be sad.
He's going to make $78,000 in a bat.
Oh, let Joe. You didn't need to.
For the rest of his life.
For the rest of his life.
Yeah, okay. Let's just put
all right, guys. Congrats to Juan Soto. Maybe one day. Scott Boras, call us if you want to represent the Juice Boys.
Play baseball, kids.
Yeah. Equal or as big of news, Bill Belichick is going to sign.
I love it.
With what NFL team, Chris?
Yeah, he is potentially going to go and coach for, drum roll, please, the University of North Carolina.
That's not an NFL team.
Okay. Oh, my God. The drum set just fell.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it. Now, what was every single thing now haunting his legacy besides the scandals? What is the big thing? What is the big thing right now that is haunting his legacy in the
his
past
24-year-old girlfriend?
Mostly the borderline pedophilia.
I wonder if she's a grad student.
No. He submitted a 400-page manifesto, and right in the middle was her application packet to go get a communications degree.
So what I'm saying is he went after the past couple of years. People have been saying it was Brady. It was Brady. This wasn't Belichick. Belichick was a defensive mind, but this was Brady. That was the key to the 20-year success. What can he do now? Go take over a program where you have to recruit, you have to build, you have to teach.
He's like 70,000 years old. What has he got?
Exactly. So do this for 3 years, pull a Dion, and just go from like absolute dog shit. And UNC starting a lot better than CU was a couple of years ago. And then Mac Brown almost had him there. And so you're telling me that Bill Belichick's not going to get recruits? People aren't going to go play for the greatest coach ever? I think this is a brilliant move. I think it's a brilliant move. I think when you really think about it, he's still 27 wins away from Don Shula. I mean, depending on where he goes, that's a lot of wins. That could be several years until he passes that.
So he's calling it quits.
If that's his only goal is to pass Shula, when he has every other thing, he's won 8 Super Bowls as an NFL coach, 6 as a head coach, 2 as a defensive coordinator. All right, I mean, he made his way at Annapolis at the Naval Academy, learning the college game, learning the football.
In a very relevant time, 60 years ago.
Very true.
Yeah,
I think he would love it.
Bill Belichick's transition to college football is going to go as great as Urban Meyer's transition to pro football.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Every once in a while, the greats just don't translate. You worked extraordinarily well within one setting, and it's just not the same game when you move from one level to the other. I think this is going to be a complete meltdown. And he's already set the expectation that if he's hired on at UNC, he wants to be hired on with the expectation that his son is the heir apparent.
Yep, in 3 to 4 years.
Steps away in a few years, he wants them to know. Yeah, he wants them to know that his son is already guaranteed to be taking over as head coach.
So he's going to poach him from Washington. He's done a good job as D coordinator for Washington.
But guys, can you imagine a 19-year-old?
They made the national championship last year.
How were they this year, though? Did they do really good again? Did they go back to back?
They lost their head. No.
Are they almost about to go back to back, or did they take a complete and utter step back this year?
Is there sarcasm in there?
As the only coach that was left behind at Washington when they got their cupboards raided.
Guys, can you imagine a 19-year-old walking into the coach's office saying, "Hey, Coach Bill, I need $1 million or I'm leaving. Can you imagine those conversations?
No, that's why they won't happen. No kid has the ball to walk into Bill Belichick's office and tell him that.
They'll just leave, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Sure. Kids doing that a year ago in Nick Saban's office.
That's true.
Why would they be afraid of Belichick but not Saban? Like,
as far as Belichick goes, I think he's thinking ahead. I think because the job of a retired college coach is the cushiest thing ever. Sonny Lubick won like 14 games for CSU, and he still has an office at CSU. Coach K still has an office.
Why do you hate our alma mater so much? Sonny Lubick was outstanding.
Outstanding. Okay. Like, yeah, he was better than average for CSU, and they still praise him. He has the cushiest job. He's on the payroll. He has an office at CSU. He has a he has a decent steakhouse. Not very good. Roy Williams still has an office.
You are a hater.
Coach K still has an office. The dream
that is not an apt comparison, though, to say Coach K and Roy Williams and Sonny Lubick.
No, but it's the same idea.
Of three dudes all on the same tier, aren't they, McCoy?
It's about coaching and sunsetting. In the NFL, you just get spit out and kicked to the streets, unless maybe Tom Coughlin you kind of get, or John Elway. But like, there's no real cushy job in the NFL after you retire. College, you go coach for 3 years.
Parcells, Holmgren, what Pete Carroll's doing right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you just name that's. It doesn't happen a lot. And Bill Belichick is
terribly keep going.
Bill Belichick is a terrible GM. Who wants him? He can't give up any control. He doesn't want to consult. It's like, let me take the cushy ass 3 years. Let me get my office. I'll get paid forever. I don't think it's going to work, but it's a good personal move.
I think a lot of it is also Belichick's arrogance. Like, he's just going to go out and prove that he can
with
do
you there.
So
we can all agree. Yeah. Also, like the ACC gets an automatic bid. So if this was a year ago, 2 years ago, that's a much different situation. If you can find a team that's half a program, half developed, you can sneak into the ACC spot every year. It's kind of a backdoor way into maybe get a national championship. Who knows? Congrats to Bill. Yeah. The Tar Heel? The Tar Heel? I never saw that. Guys, let's jump into more football.
I can't wait.
I'm going to hit on this real quick. Would you guys, unbiased of course, are the Chiefs more lucky or more skilled and good right now? What's your percentage breakdown of luck?
You have to know what our perspective is on that.
I said unbiased.
They're the luckiest goddamn team ever.
Gosh, dang it.
They're the most shit one-loss team that I've ever seen at this point in the season. Like, y'all keep falling ass backwards into success.
Is that? What's ass backwards?
It's because they got a whole lot of dudes in stripes that are also on their team that aren't supposed to be.
What? Why is that? What do you mean? Like, what are we talking about here?
Now, if this was...
We've covered that. If I noticed that you're in stripes right now, so you're rocking the
he is wearing stripes. Now, they are horizontal, not vertical, but so, I mean, he's still showing his love.
Thank you.
If this was 6 years ago, I would say that they are lucky.
Yes.
Okay. At this point now, I think this is just a microcosm of them being who they are. I think this is them being the Chiefs. Teams get afraid playing them. And I'm telling you, Cody, I lived this for 22 years. It's just like the Patriots pulled off wins they never, ever should have. And it's because the team that's winning has confidence because they've been there and they've done that. And they know that it doesn't matter like what the situation is, that they are going to win. Now, the team that they're playing is saying, holy shit, I'm going against Patrick Mahomes. I'm going against Andy Reid, and they shit themselves. I mean, just look at the freaking Raiders. They had that game.
Oh yeah.
Now I think that was also something with the zebras going off there, because that should have been a dead ball penalty. The clock shouldn't have ran. That's bullshit. They were able to say the illegal formation instead of false start, which is dumb. However, the Raiders did that because they didn't have the mental toughness at that moment to do it. The Broncos outplayed them, but when it came down to the final moment, Alex Forsythe didn't have the mental toughness or the belief that he was actually going to freaking do it. And so I think 6 years ago, yes, that'd be lucky. Now this is just because the Chiefs are the Chiefs and teams just fucking suck against them. That's not going to be the case in the playoffs. The playoffs is a different mentality.
You're right. That's when Josh Allen really shows up. That's when Lamar Jackson really shows up, is when playoffs hit. That's really when Pat Mahomes.
And the Broncos
Josh Allen does show up. Josh Allen always shows up in the playoffs. But his team
for sure. Okay.
Josh Allen always shows up. His team blows it for
so
him.
many rings.
His 13 seconds. His 13-second game wasn't Josh Allen's fault. Are you kidding me?
Score more points. I don't know what to tell you. All right, here's where we go. Best kicker in the league, hurt. Left tackle, god-awful. Right tackle, a liability who's overpriced. Cornerback 2, out. Wide receiver 1, out. Wide receiver 2, out. Wide receiver 3, a rookie. Tight end 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out.
Come on. Now they've got DeAndre Hopkins who had a touchdown last week. Don't give me that.
Hey, we had to make a move. Our second edge rusher just came back. So we are dealing with all the same stuff.
Props. Just give you enough props. We're done with the Chiefs. All right, now they're 12-1. They clinched the number 1 seed, so we don't have to talk about them the rest of the time.
Or the West, not the number 1 seed yet, but it's
they
close.
Haven't yet.
No.
Well, then it's going to come down to the Broncos in the last week, and they're going to lose.
No, that'll be locked up way before then. But they have a 2-game lead up on the Bills. Guys, also, are you going for Josh Allen or Saquon Barkley MVP? Who are you leading to?
Josh Allen just had 6 total touchdowns and a loss. Did you guys watch that game? I'm just going to say this. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in the league. Josh Allen's the best football player in the entire league. Like, just as the hands down best
this season
player right now. He's
like on earth is Patrick Mahomes, but like
right now he is the best football
is he
player
in the league?
Joe, that's not correct.
He the way he runs, the way he just takes games over. Again, the defense is not his fault. All right, Josh Allen is putting like that last game 6 touchdowns, and who the hell is he throwing to? Amari Cooper, who's been there for a week, and then all rookies, and his best receiver is Khalil Shakir. I mean, it's like, come on, man. He's putting up these unbelievable stats. Is got 10 rushing touchdowns on top of 23 passing touchdowns. If they put that collectively, that's as much as Joe Burrow has got. And the team is in the 2nd seed, already clinched the East for the fastest time, tied for the fastest time ever. There were still 6 weeks left in the season when they clinched. That's absurd. All right, so yeah, Josh Allen is. I think it's still Josh Allen.
So he's the 93 Charles Barkley to Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan's in the league still, guys. Like
because Michael Jordan's still putting up stats. Mahomes' stats are not
12-1, back-to-back Super Bowls. What are we doing here, folks?
I'm sorry. Are we voting on MVP based off
Jordan
last
still
year's
led the
Super Bowl?
Jordan was the best league in scoring that year.
Mahomes is the best player on the planet, God. What are we talking about?
What are his personal stats? MVP isn't about what is your team's record.
Who do you want?
It's about your personal stats.
Gosh.
That's the point that Joey's making to say.
So he's the Charles Barkley, 1993.
Last year's Super Bowl champion. Great. Awesome. It's a new year. Move the fuck on.
Everyone knows the best player, but the MVP's the storyline, blah, 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 blah. Saquon or Allen?
Now, Cody, yes, but at the same time, Jordan was putting up leading statistics the seasons that he lost the MVP. Mahomes is not doing that. He's got 15.
Who do you want, though?
Who do I want?
Yeah, you don't want. You can have him. Who has won absolutely nothing his whole career.
Now, Saquon, question with this. He's probably going to break the all-time rushing record this year. Does he have to do it in 16 games, or can he do it in 17 and would it still feel the same?
No, they don't care anymore.
And if he breaks the rushing record, he has to win MVP.
That's the tough thing. I mean, it's incredible.
If he passes Eric Dickerson, I don't know, should he get it, or Josh Allen, I don't know. I love Josh Allen. So
I think at present Josh Allen deserves it, but you break a record like that, in no way would I be upset if Saquon took that home. It'd be great to see the MVP go to somebody who's not a quarterback, especially as someone as deserving as Saquon beating a record like that. Like,
if they give it to Saquon, they keep the MVP all players. If they give it to Josh over Saquon winning the record, they need to fucking split out like a quarterback MVP and then the rest of, because you're just solidifying that it's a quarterback only award. If he literally breaks Eric Dickerson's record and doesn't win the MVP, I think it's time to split him out. Go Patrick.
I agree. That's a good take. That's a good take.
Thanks, Joe. Was that a compliment? All right, Joe, quickly hit on the Nuggets, maybe trading for Jimmy Buckets.
This could be huge. Now, the Nuggets are 12-10 when they are just, this is probably the most underwhelming start to a season in Nuggets history, and that's saying a lot because the Nuggets have been some really bad teams. Now, the Jokic put up 56-point triple-double over the weekend and lost to the worst team in basketball, the Washington Wizards, who coming into that game had lost 16 consecutive games, did not win a game in the entire month of November. And the Nuggets
love a no-win November.
The Nuggets lost that game with a 56-point triple-double from the greatest player in the world. Unbelievable.
Almost.
So, you didn't get it?
No, he was short on assists.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, 56 points is ridiculous.
Chris had a bad place. He knows.
Chris knows. So they need some additional shooting and they need some defense. They're they're lacking. They can't trade Jamal Murray right now. His contract is locked up, and he's going to start his new deal over the summer. They could trade him over the summer. They can't trade him now. So this is the proposed deal that's floating around right now. Michael Porter Jr., Zeke Naji, Julian Strother, Pickett, and 2 draft picks for Jimmy Butler.
It's gross. Jimmy Butler like 30 plus?
He's 35 years old.
But Jimmy Butler is him.
No.
When you get to the postseason.
That's the trade?
That is the trade.
That is god awful. Oh,
I do not hate it. I think Zeke Naji, Julian Strother, who could be something, and Pickett and Najee are just wasting bench space right now. They're just wasting money and wasting bench space. MPJ, we locked him up on this contract thinking he was going to be the shit. And what are we getting? 19-7 out of him in his best season. This is his best season he's ever had, and it's 19-7. All right, so let's get rid of that contract. Jimmy Butler is coming in here right now, like on the last year of his deal. This is a win now. We need to win.
Yeah, win now and rebuild later. You're gonna lose. Oh, that's a god-awful trade, guys.
Win now and get rid of the MPJ contract. That is killing us right now.
Jimmy Butler's 35. He's done. There's nothing left on that.
Jimmy Butler has got 3 great seasons left in him.
35. He's got Vince Carter. Oh my!
He's got 3 great seasons left in him. If you imagine who is going to beat a lineup of Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Jimmy Butler, Aaron Gordon, and Jokic. Holy hell.
Oh, that's all names. He's 35.
No, it is not all names. That's what I'm saying.
Gosh.
Bring him in to fit the system. It's exactly what they need.
But you're selling out for zero future. You're selling out. You're just completely selling out.
Get a win now before you have to rebuild. You got to get a win now.
I love me some Himmy Butler, but you're right. Like, if this trade is going through in 2020, huge.
It wouldn't happen in 2030.
But we're moments away from 2025. Yeah, McCoy, you've got a point, but I'm also at a spot with MPJ to where it's like, you almost kind of look at this as you're dumping off a contract that is dead weight that you are just dragging around versus like...
He's a max player. He's not a max player. He's a max player contract, dude.
He's just never been what the Nuggets needed him to be with enough consistency for the amount that they pay
I think
him.
Consistency is the word, yeah.
Yeah, because he shows flashes. He's got the capability every once in a while out of nowhere. He just completely takes a game over. But it's like, for what you're paid to be, like, you're expected to be the dude day in, day out, each and every game. Not necessarily to be at that like tippity top level, but like at least have a demonstrable presence in every single game, and he's just not that guy.
I mean, like, what is the Nuggets' goal? To win the championship. They need to get to the playoffs, and then you get Himmy Butler, who just dominates. The Heat should never be in the NBA Finals, and they seem like they're there every single year. So this is like, you need it. Now, and then after this season, let the GMs go to work. Let the GMs go to work, and let's go sign some people. Let's rebuild, but you cannot waste Jokic. He's got to get his championships now. If this window they only get 1, that is a waste. They can get 2, they can rebuild, and in 2-3 years from now, they can have another legitimate chance. But the team they have right now, they can't. They need to win right now.
I need to go to music break, Joe. You're wrong.
Oh,
okay.
Cool.
All right, Juice Junkies, welcome back to Juice Boys, episode 71. Thanks for following, thanks for liking, thanks for engaging, thanks for sending us all your stuff. We're having a fun time getting to do this with me and my 2 brothers-in-law, who I love dearly. So
you too, buddy.
So much. We're so stupid.
kind.
We started a podcast, guys. Can you believe it?
What?
And they haven't shut us down yet.
71 weeks ago.
Oh, it's great. Gosh. All right, squeeze of the week, Moron Mountain. We have Chris and Joey. We have 2 brothers-in-law who have something to say. Chris,
been a while.
You nominating someone to Moron Mountain?
Fellas, let's all right, so we've already talked college football, but let's talk about the biggest fucking prima donnas in all of college football.
Oh,
that is Alabama football fandom.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Specifically Nick Saban and their AD talking so much shit since they were snubbed from this year's CFB, talking about, oh, well, I guess strength of schedule just doesn't matter. I think Alabama's going to have to take a real hard look at who we do and do not choose to schedule as our out-of-conference schedule.
You lost to Vanderbilt in conference.
Do you fellas know who they had for their out-of-conference schedule this year? Because I do.
Please tell us.
First 3 weeks, Western Kentucky, South Florida, and Wisconsin. Then they finished that up with the third to last game of the year against Mercer. All three of their losses came from in conference against Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, and Tennessee. Alabama being up in arms, pissed at the world, talking about how strength of schedule doesn't matter. Meanwhile, every single year in, year out, ad nauseum, Alabama beats up on cupcakes way late into the year so that they run less of a risk of wind up getting exposed by a conference opponent late in the season, like they did against Oklahoma this year, so that they can preserve their opportunities to exist at the upper tier of the ranking system by gaming that system for the last how many freaking decades. And now the 1 year that they don't get what they want, they're trying to just burn the entire structure to the ground. Alabama fans, Coach Saban, whoever the hell their AD is, welcome to Moron Mountain. You all are the most spoiled people I have ever dealt with.
Yes.
In collegiate fandom.
Love it, dude.
That's tough to disagree on.
I cannot believe the fit that they are pitching right now about
incredible
being sent out of this when they had 3 losses and 2 bad losses.
Yeah, they didn't score a touchdown against Oklahoma.
They got their dicks kicked by Oklahoma, and they lost to Vanderbilt. You cannot freaking lose to Vanderbilt and go to the playoff. You cannot lose to Vanderbilt and go.
I think it says in the contract, like, if you lose to Vanderbilt, it's in the bylaws of the CFP.
If Tennessee was their only loss, they'd be the number 1 seed. All right, they because of their strength of schedule,
not the number 1 seed, but
I think they would have topped Oklahoma, Oregon if their only loss was to Tennessee. But no, you cannot be bitching when you got stomped by Oklahoma, who was trash this year.
Nothing to stand
and you lost to Vanderbilt. Shut up, Alabama.
And the whole country disagrees with you, so that's when maybe it's okay.
It's horrific. Just shut up.
So bad. They've been used to being spoiled for decades, and now they don't get included in the party 1 year.
They shouldn't have been last year.
All they want to do is throw a shit fit. You're right. They should not have been in last year.
Yeah. This is a good makeup call.
Georgia should have been there, and Florida State should have been there.
Yeah, I guess we all agree. Nice job, Chris.
All right, so boys, let's go on a history lesson here, okay? Let's look back at America's pastime of baseball, and let's look at the history of contract signings, okay?
Oh, good.
All right.
Can't wait.
1913 was the first time somebody made $10,000 a season. That was Ty Cobb. All right. Then the world went ape shit after that, because in 1922 Babe Ruth got $50,000 a year. All right. Oh, wow. It took until 1949 for Joe DiMaggio to make $100,000. And then it took until 1974 for a guy, I don't even know who the hell this guy is, because after he signed his contract, sucked the rest of his career. Dick Allen made $250,000. Okay. So to put this in perspective, this is when apparently contracts blew up. All right. From 1975 to 1992, Mike Schmidt was the first one to get $500,000. 1980, Nolan Ryan with the $1 million. 1992, our boy Bobby Bonilla is still making this money, baby.
Way to go, Bobby.
Yeah, $5 million a season.
God, you're beautiful.
Okay. What the hell happened? 2001, A-Rod signed a $20 million a year contract. 2009, A-Rod signed $30 million a year contract. What has happened the last 3 years in baseball is why baseball will never be popular again.
Whoa.
Define
popular. Define popular real quick. Like,
back in the day, baseball was everything. Cody, me and you just went to the Negro League Baseball Hall of Fame. We just saw that even in those times, the Negro League sometimes had more fans than the Major League Baseball, when it wasn't even televised, wasn't on the radio or any of that stuff. Baseball was loved. Baseball is now the fourth most popular sport in America. All right. I mean, it's like, how does that happen? I say behind NFL, college football, NBA, and then MLB. In this current economy, in this time when people are trying to make ends meet, trying to justify any of this like ridiculous spending that's happening in this world, what does Rob Manfred approve? These ungodly, ridiculous contracts. 38-year-old Max Scherzer signing a $40 million a year contract. Next year, Aaron Judge and Justin Verlander, $40 million a year contract. 2024, Shohei Ohtani, $70 million a year contract.
Deferred.
All right. He's saying now they are showing these this is just, I think this is literally a slap in the face to sports fans. This is a slap in the face to people who are watching. $750 million to play a child's game. $750 million. This is just asinine. Juan Soto in this contract will make more than Tom Brady and LeBron James have made in their careers combined. Both of their combined earnings. He is making more than the net worth of 6 MLB owners.
And us.
Okay. No. MLB owners, people who own MLB franchises. At the end of this, he'll be worth more than them. All right. So before this, like right now, the highest paid MLB player is Justin Verlander at $404 million. There's only one other player ever who's made over $400 million. That's Miguel Cabrera. All right. What is this doing to the sports world? What is this doing to our perception of money and what this is worth? This is $750 million freaking dollars. $750 million. This is asinine. But what I'm saying now is that this is going to completely disrupt every single sports market in the entire world. In the entire world. And what
world.
Dude, this is the highest contract that's ever happened. It's ever happened. What is this going to do now? Now
like there's some like G League cricket player out in Nigeria who's like, you see that Juan Soto contract?
See, I disagree with you, Joe, because there's plenty of big ass soccer contracts in the world. I think basketball. But I think basketball is ruining it more than baseball.
Nothing is even close to compared to $750 million.
Didn't the Saudis make like a super league where they were handing out billion-dollar contracts?
Yeah.
Nobody signed them. Because
there is an ink on that paper, it doesn't mean that
because it's not real money. This is real money. This is real money. So you're saying now, what does this show to the working class person that cannot go to a freaking game at Yankee Stadium, that cannot afford to go watch this shit? I can't go to the Super Bowl because it's $6,000 freaking dollars a ticket. What is happening what is happening with our world around sports? This is ridiculous.
I don't think you're wrong.
What are they gonna have to do to pay these freaking players $750 million? Now a beer is $19 freaking dollars for at the stadium, and it costs you $60 to get a decent seat. I mean, it's just like I don't have kids, but if I did, I could not take them to go see these games.
I don't think any of that's wrong. I think basketball's ruining it, though. Basketball's the one paying almost $1 million a game to all-stars, and then they're choosing to not play. I don't play back-to-backs. I think
I don't do back-to-backs anymore.
I think the NBA is ruining that. Where I'd be more pissed at that than MLB. It's 162 games.
I'm pissed at everything. Now I'm calling out the MLB because Rob Manfred is allowing this to happen.
What's he supposed to say?
We need to say no. Some structures here, boys.
You need to get some. There needs to be some limits. You're saying, what is he supposed to say? Every other commissioner in sports has capped this shit. Look at they.
Oh, you want to cap? Okay, it'll never happen.
They stopped. We brought this up several times before. They blocked the CP3 trade because it would create an uncompetitive advantage. When the New Jersey Devils tried to sign Kovalchuk to a 13-year contract back in the day, 13 years, $100 million. Gary Bettman stopped it, and he said that's ridiculous. That's unfair. Rob Manfred is the worst commissioner in all of sports, and I freaking hate Roger Goodell. And him not stopping this is going to set a chain reaction that I don't know if sports can recover from. Because teams are going to get put into these fucking holes because they have to do it to sign these players, and then they're going to have to jam up the fucking prices. People cannot afford to go do this shit. It's going to, like, I am so pissed. I'm so pissed off on this. $765 million for an above average player. That's going to set the market for the rest of sports forever.
I just love Doomsday Joey. This is going to set sports on a path that it can never recover from. Like, here we are, like, one day down the road talking to our great-grandchildren. Great-granddad, what was sports like? Well, Sonny, it all went away one day in December of 2024 when Juan Soto signed way too big of a paycheck, and we all collectively looked around and went, fuck sports now, right? No more? None? We're all done? Over. We're out. We're done.
And then it's all on the freaking consumer's dime. I freaking hate it. We have to pay all these media contracts. We got to pay all this shit to watch and listen to the team. We got to go pay even more to go watch them in person, all because you can give somebody $765 million to throw a damn baseball. I mean, this is absurd. It's absurd. It's getting out of fucking control, and it needs to stop.
We'll sign that contract, Rob, if you want to send.
I can throw a baseball.
No, I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm not saying good for you, Juan Soto, but this is just out of control. $775 million is disgusting.
Joey, if people are so passionate about their squeezes, like you and Chris, like they want to send something in for Moron Mountain or
submitted.
Joey, how do they contribute to the show?
Juice junkies, friends, listeners, other haters of ridiculous greed. You can submit your most outlandish sports take or Moron Mountain by emailing us at juiceboysshow@gmail.com or send us a DM on Instagram at juiceboysshow. If it has the pulp, we'll read it on the show. Listeners, juice junkies, remember the squeezies are coming up soon. Please send in what you believe was our worst takes of the year. Well, or if you think we have some good ones,
or if you have a take, we'll nominate you to the squeezies.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be us. It doesn't have to be us. It could be anybody's worst take. Send those into juiceboysshow@gmail.com or DM us at juiceboysshow. Please, we want to hear from you. Let's get that Juicy's docket ready. Squeezies, not Juicy's. The Squeezies docket ready. Criasa!
Eventually.
Hey, Criasa! Who's sponsoring today's show?
Fellas, today's episode of the Juice Boys Show is brought to you by the greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Oh no.
Die Hard.
Yes, Die Hard, yes, baby, yeah.
Yes, it's that most festive time of the year again, where we cuddle up and get cozy by the fire and revisit all our favorite Christmas classics, overly decorated sugar cookies, hot chocolate with a candy cane and peppermint schnapps in it, and of course, the harrowing tale of John McClane overcoming incredible odds to stop Professor Snape's evil plot. And sure, some jerks may try to convince you Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie. But remember, Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie because it takes place on Christmas Eve. Die Hard is a Christmas movie because it's a story about getting dragged somewhere you don't want to go by your family, which results in a night spent dealing with bigger and bigger calamities as you bloodied and needing Carl Weathers to save you.
Oh, Carl, R.I.P.
No, I love Carl Weathers. Chubs.
So this Christmas, cuddle close with your loved ones and make sure you leave a pack of cigarettes and a Beretta 9mm and your air ducts as you tune into the greatest Christmas story ever told, Die Hard.
I love it. Nakatomi Plaza Christmas Party, 1988.
I think it was 88.
89? Yeah.
Jeez. All right, guys, moving in to the big tot, the big potato, our big tot of the day. It's Heisman season. College football is wrapping up. We thought we'd go with the least deserving, either Heisman winner or Heisman finalist, who had the seasons that did not deserve to be in New York for that big night, but ultimately ended up being there.
Fellas, let's talk about who immediately came to mind for me that I think Joey is deflecting to me because he expects
I didn't want to steal it. I didn't want to steal it. So,
yep. Mark Ingram.
Yeah, that's it.
Alabama, 2009 running back. He had 1,600 yards and 17 touchdowns and won the Heisman on the thinnest margin of all time, beating Toby Gerhart.
Oh, should have.
38 points. Even though Gerhart had more yards, so 1,800 yards, and more touchdowns, 28 touchdowns.
28. Jeez. 28 in 12 games.
Gerhart had won the Doak Walker Award for the best running back in the country. So in 2009, Mark Ingram wasn't even the best running back in the country, but was expected to have been the best college football player in the country. All of this also not to mention my personal beef with the fact that Ndamukong Suh got the snub despite having 20 and a half tackles for loss and 12 sacks, in addition to making Colt McCoy of Texas his personal ragdoll in the Big 12 championship game. I mean, obviously Mark Ingram went on to have a decent career in the NFL.
He was good.
Solid. Gerhart, not really much.
No, he had a couple good years with the Vikings, but that's it.
Yeah. But still, it's one of those where, like, when you just look at the stats, like Mark Ingram just happened to be on an obscenely talented Alabama team, but wasn't even the best running back in the country, let alone.
He wasn't even the best running back on the team. They had Trent Richardson that year.
That's true.
And so Richardson was a freshman. He wasn't even the best on the team. Now he's talking about everybody who had the best career after that. And Ndamukong Suh had a phenomenal NFL career. I mean, and he came in
kind of a dick.
He kind of a dick.
Dude, he revolutionized Dick. I mean, he was like stomping on Dick.
Okay.
Stomping on Dick. I mean, like
he was punching taints and ripping chodes. Who do you think taught Joey to do that?
God, I would have loved to have him on my team.
Oh my God, I can still smell the stale beer from that Big 12 championship game at my college house in 2009.
Yeah,
Joey, can you beat Mark?
I'm going to go with somebody that when I was doing research on this, it blew me away on how bad this season actually was. I cannot believe in 1987, Tim Brown won the Heisman Trophy for Notre Dame. I mean, like now, I always just thought that Tim Brown was like one of the greatest college football players of all time. Looking at his statistics, he won the Heisman in 1987 with 39 catches, 3 touchdowns.
Oh my God.
39 catches, 3 touchdowns, and 2 punt return touchdowns.
What? Pretty good season.
I mean,
that's
pretty good. That would be an average player on CSU right now. I mean, it's just like, you got to be kidding me. 39, 3, and 2 punt return touchdowns. How did he win? Because he took a punt return to the house to win the national championship in '86. So everybody just thought that he was going to win from the first get-go. It was kind of like Tebow going in again and winning his sophomore year because everybody said he should have won his freshman year, but it's just like, so everybody just gave it to him. But that season, this guy should have got his props. Don McPherson from Syracuse that year led Syracuse to their first undefeated season since 1959.
Deserving,
This dude had 22 touchdowns, 11 picks in 1989. 2,300 yards passing was a lot. All right. And he also had 5 rushing touchdowns. So 27 total touchdowns compared to 5. Undefeated season. Now that just shocked me. I thought like Tim Brown, Hall of Famer, like college football Hall of Famer. I thought, wow, but that was an extremely underwhelming Heisman Trophy win.
I'm going to go short and sweet on mine, guys. Chris Winkie, only because he's 28 fucking years old. I
love a short and sweet Winkie.
Oh my gosh, guys. I don't care what his stats are. I don't care if he deserved it. You are 28 years old playing against 20, 21, 22-year-olds. I fucking hope you win the Heisman, friend. Yeah. Oh my gosh, would have been like your 6th year in the NFL.
Yeah,
you're
a grown man. You should be onto your second contract.
No, I don't care. I don't care what his stats were.
He's 2 years older than Juan Soto.
Congrats, you won the Heisman. You're
like the next
Social Security or something. Like what?
Go over to the stands and kiss your kids. They're celebrating their 8th birthday and their
It was like him and Brandon Weeden were almost 30 and
I don't.
quarterbacks. Yeah,
congratulations. You won the Heisman. You have the trophy. Not deserved. I mean, the committee should have been like, wait, how old is he? He's 28.
That's absurd.
Why is he here? Possible? He should be on this committee at this point.
Yeah, we're not giving this to anybody that has a 401k already.
Yeah. A decently filled up 401k at 28. You know what I mean? Like this guy's got insurance policies, I'm sure. Yeah. What do we? I just
Life
don't understand.
Insurance.
Yeah. So you don't deserve.
You went 1 in 15 for the Panthers next year. Great job, Chris.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Chris, round number 2.
Fellas, so the reason that I wanted to expand it to not just the worst Heisman winner, but the worst Heisman finalist was because of this dude that I found. Have either of you heard of Rex Kern?
Oh,
tell us about old Rexy.
Okay, I was asking Joey because Rex Kern was the quarterback at Ohio State.
Okay.
From 1968 till 1970. And in 1968, he led the Buckeyes to an undefeated season and a national championship as a sophomore.
Nice.
Incredible. Did not in any way earn a Heisman look as a sophomore. However, in 1970, he did go on to finish 5th in voting after leading the Buckeyes to a 9-0 regular season, during which he posted stats including 45 completed passes, 470 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions.
Oh,
that is one game of Jameis Winston ball was his entire season, and he got 5th place.
Oh my gosh!
In Heisman voting that season.
One game,
45 completions
in a 9-game season,
70 yards in a 9-game regular season. They were knocked out in the postseason by Indiana. So in 10 total games, 45 completed passes, 470, 3 tutties, and 8 interceptions. I mean, 1970 must have been
slow year,
dud of a year.
Yeah, slow year for football. Wow, Joey, can you beat the dud that is that?
Well, I could say
Rexy.
I'm gonna give some stats, and I want you guys to tell me what year. 1,500 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
2001.
You are correct, sir. That was not a 1950 stat line. That was from the year 2000.
I should have let McCoy guess. I know who you're here to talk shit about.
That was from the year 2001. We had a
guy built a great playground though.
A quarterback with 1,500 yards passing. That is 5 Joe Burrow games. All right, and 1,500 yards passing, 7 total passing touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Now he did have 1,100 yards rushing. Yep. All right, 18 rushing touchdowns. All right. Yep. However, that is just shocking to me that Eric Crouch in 2001 won the Heisman with 3 more interceptions than passing touchdowns. All right, now. Reason I think that, that's an absurd stat line, and I was a huge Eric Crouch fan back in the day, so it kind of hurts me to say this. But when you're talking about, like, who should have actually won, another sexy Rexy. Rex Grossman for Florida that year he was undefeated going into the SEC championship game. All right, he had 4,000 yards passing, 34 touchdowns, and 12 picks. They were 3rd ranked as the season was over versus Eric Crouch's 8th ranked Nebraska. And the only reason they lost the SEC championship game was because it was the first game played after 9/11. All right, and so they were just not themselves. They came out flat and looked like shit.
Wait. The only reason that they lost is it's the first game after 9/11, as if
they were missing players from that game who had family members that died.
As if both teams hadn't just simultaneously gone through 9/11. Like did they fly in a team from Canada?
Only the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Only Florida suffered during 9/11 is the squeeziest squeeze. Write that down for the book. That's my nomination. Only Florida was affected by 9/11. Joey,
that's not what I said, but okay.
Florida specifically was really hurting.
Let me add it to the squeezies. Oh my
God, Joey, I can't believe you just glossed over that, like as if we were all going to be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why. That was the first game they lost. That was the only game they lost that season. And they lost out a national championship that year. So, that's just what I said when I read about it. I don't know enough about it. But anyway, Eric Crouch lost by 2,500 yards, by 27 touchdowns, and had 2 more interceptions, but he lost the Heisman that year. So, interesting.
Let's go, Eric.
Dang.
Let's go, Eric.
Yeah. I got a similar fella then. Paul Hornung.
Okay. Paul Horning. It's
U-N-G.
Yes, it is, but it's pronounced Paul Horning. You should know this. He's one of the greatest players in NFL history. So.
Yeah, but it's a U-N-G, so I'm gonna do that. Notre Dame, 1956. Chris, thanks for listening. Thanks. First player to win the Heisman on a losing team.
They were very losing.
He went 2-8. And won the Heisman. It wasn't even a
2 wins,
7, and it was a 2.
Didn't you? Pulled the old Florida State.
Tossed 3 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
Oh
my God!
But you know why he did that? Because he wasn't a quarterback; he was a running back.
Yes, he also he led the Fighting Irish in rushing, scoring, and kicking categories. The biggest reason he won is 1956, he had the correct skin color because Jim Brown should have won the Heisman with about 1,000 yards in 7 games. Jim Brown's a legend, maybe the greatest running back of all time. Legendary at Syracuse.
He probably is.
Had the wrong color in 1956, so we gave it to the white guy who threw 13 interceptions because that makes sense at the time, and here we are, and, least deserving by a mile.
Yeah, probably. That probably tops the list.
You probably got it. You probably got it right there. I mean, Jim Brown, nah.
Jim Brown,
the athlete we've ever seen.
Yeah. Jim Brown, where'd it go? He rushed for 1,000 yards, 6.2 average per rush. Wow.
He's a fullback. You know that?
Syracuse was also 7-2, and he didn't even get top 4.
Wow, that's a shame. That is a shame.
That's a shame.
I mean, it's almost like it's a little hokey to vote for somebody just because they play multiple positions instead of the guy resetting the class of running backs. I wonder if there's anything applicable in that.
Yeah. Remember, Juice Junkies, you can listen to the show on all major podcast networks and YouTube. Please follow and rate the show and leave us a review through Apple. And we encourage you to follow the YouTube and Spotify channels. Also, be a friend. Tell a friend about the podcast.
Yes.
Yep.
Communicate with us on social media. Send us in your squeezies. Join our Juice Junkie community. Cody, back to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jojo Potato, Mr. Chris Pelletier. How did we do last week? Who's starting us off? How'd the Wheel of D-Gen do?
What is the rankings? Where am I?
All right, fellas. A bit of a mixed bag this weekend. McCoy, only 1 win for you, so sucks to be you. Joey, you and I each managed 2 dubs.
All right.
But I get to go first because I didn't have a loss. I had a push.
Which
is funny because I have 2 of those. Nobody else has 1. I have pushed twice this season.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm leading us off. College, I'm just going to go ahead and go Army minus 6.5.
I love it. I love it. Army I think they should have been in the playoff, dude. Carolina is playing some good ball right now, boys.
They kind of are.
They legitimately
out
of freaking nowhere. They had a legitimate chance of winning the last 3 games, and because they are the Carolina Panthers, they've lost the last 3.
Yes.
But Bryce Young, dude, I texted you guys on Sunday. I was like, is he legit? I think he is. I think him taking that time off has done something for him. They're going up against Dallas. Let's take Carolina minus 2.5 against Dallas. Let's go. Let's see them get this win. I think they're going to
get it.
I think they're going to do it.
Give me Dolphins +3, guys. They're really the only kind of outsider trying to make a push to the playoffs. Tua is back. Tua is playing well, starting to get healthy. Texans are just a shell of the former selves from last year. Stroud hitting the sophomore slump. Give me the Dolphins +3.
I think Bengals got something figured out last night. I'm going to go ahead and go Bengals -5 at the Titans. It also helps that the Titans are broken.
They're literally.
Yeah.
I thought
it ain't going well.
Was Will Levis dead? but yeah. All right, well, since there's only 2 games to pick from college this weekend, I'm going to stick with America's game of Army-Navy. I know this sounds crazy with the Army-Navy. I'm going over 38.5. I think like Army could score some points. Yeah. Army could score some points, and we'll see. Navy was ranked this year. They got a good team. I want to see some points. I want to see a good game.
Chris, give me the under on that one then. They're not going to score points. What are we talking about?
Chris already took college. No. Chris already took his college game. You're taking the under, Codes?
Yeah.
Okay. This is where I'm gonna beat you on the yearly rankings because we know we're both ahead of Chris.
Always.
That's what you think. Boys, I'm going Ravens at Giants over 43. That I think Ravens can handle 38 of that.
I would think so. Yeah, I would think so.
I'm saying Drew Lock's not going to tear it up.
I wanted to see him succeed. I was genuinely rooting for him.
I was too. Yeah.
Just not good.
So, boys, this is when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to start lighting it up. All right, no, they because of Kirk Cousins and his ineptitude. This is the Bucs division to win, and they need to prove that they're going to make some headway in the playoffs. Mike Evans is healthy. They got a running game starting to go. Tampa Bay +3 over the Chargers. Let's go, Baker.
And I'll wrap this up with the Falcons -4.5 on the Raiders. The Falcons are broken. Kirk Cousins is broken.
They are so bad.
Is this Michael Penis?
If you can't beat Desmond Ridder, then you shouldn't be in the league anymore. I think you should retire that day.
Is this the Michael Penis game? Are we going to see him?
We'll find out. Okay. If we see some penis this weekend, who knows?
That's right.
Chris, Wheel of Degeneracy, bring us home.
All right, boys. As always, we have pre-picked on the wheel. We have South Alabama at Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
Cowboys at Panthers. Bills at Lions. And as always, on the wheel, we've got over, we've got under, we've got away spread, home spread, and old dickhead McCoy takes a shot.
Dickhead.
For a spin.
Get some dickle for the dickhead.
Oh, all right. Under 57, South Alabama at Western Kentucky.
I don't know anything about either.
I know nothing about either team, but
it's Western Michigan, my friend, not Western Kentucky, not the Hilltoppers. You got the Broncos. You got the Broncos of Western Michigan.
Oh, good catch. Yeah, my bad. I know just as little.
That didn't change anything. That did not change anything on my
that did not give me any increased or decreased context here.
Yeah.
Up next, we've got Cowboys at Panthers. One team just taking a nosedive, one team taking flight.
I think question mark?
McCoy, so
We've
close.
got Cowboys +2.5. That is
today's Satan.
Spooky line. And last, Bills at Lions. Here, boys. Cody takes a shot. Let's go.
Yeah, it happened.
Do you have to leave again? Oh my God! If you have to leave again, I'm going to drive to your house and kick you in the balls.
Have we not gone over this?
Oh my God! We covered this. We could not have been more thorough last time, and yet here we are again with McCoy just being a complete and utter disappointment.
You keep a bottle next to the.
Here's what we do.
Oh my God.
Here's what we do. When we're all together at Christmas and we're recording together, we duct tape a bottle of Maker's Mark to his hand.
Yeah, I don't believe he's even drinking.
No, I don't think he is. I think that was iced tea. I think he's just so disappointed that now he has to take an actual drink of something like a man. That he is actually just going downstairs to have himself a little cry, pour a little bit of that iced tea into a bottle.
He doesn't have much hair on his knuckles, so he must not be really drinking the whiskey.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
So here he is back. There it is.
Took you long enough. There we go. Is that the apple brandy?
The apple brandy. Finish that disgusting concoction.
You're so gross. Let's give her a spin. Just about had another.
God, that missed by a millimeter.
Okay, so Bills +2.5 at the Lions. That's gonna be a spicy game.
Big game. Yeah.
Spicy.
Whew. Apple brandy shots. Who does that?
Yeah, that's gross.
I didn't have
Nobody
anything else.
made you do it. I know you have other options.
You know what other options? What other? Fuck.
Take it from the top. Try it again.
We're gonna get it.
You know what options we've run out of?
Be brave.
You know what options we've run out of?
Ending the show.
Yeah, so the show's over. 71 episodes in.
Give us a
Stay
chat
juicy?
GPT. Give us a chat GPT.
Was it stay loose, stay sporty, stay juicy?
We don't like sporty.
Probably.
Oh, the sporty word. Stay juiced? That's the juice? Tune in next week? Are we getting there?
There we go.
Are we building on something?
Better. I mean, that's better.
Okay. Better than... People deserve better, damn it. Guys, it's the holiday season. Tune in next week. It's going to be our Christmas show. We got some Squeezins Moron Mountains nomination in the Christmas world. Last year we did worst Christmas song, and it is one of our favorite segments we ever did. We're going to do something similar.
Oh.
Get ready for it, guys. Ho, 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 motherfuckers. Bye.